on TNT. I'm dynamite. TNT.
All right, we are live. Tuesday, July 22nd. Wow, what a month! What a month here. 2026 is in. We're 7 months in. I can't tell you how many shows we are yet because I don't know. I would say 16 somewhere in there. But how's everybody doing this evening? Yesterday I was literally like just falling asleep at this time pretty much. Um, I'm sure that you guys. Let's see. I'm just making sure that we've got everything running here. Okay. Um, I'm sure you guys are aware that we've had basically 2 shows in the last 2 weeks, and then and then and then we have a show this coming week and stuff. Yeah, Mike, I really actually wish I was at the beach yesterday, especially after I created that image. But anyway, I did say to my wife, why am I not at the beach? But I just thought I'd whip up something because I kind of was like, okay, should I do the show? Should I do the show? I'm not prepared. I wanted to be able to announce some more guest stuff. And not able to do that still. I mean, one person I am able to add. And then thank you for August. Thank August for coming out. We're looking forward to seeing you this weekend. And then also, hey, thanks Trent there and Inga. Great show, Coral Springs. Looking forward to Fort Myers. Yeah, I mean, this should be great. Should be great. Looking forward to the show this weekend. Before now, I'm gonna start a little bit here with a couple recent stuff. You see, I've got my ACDC hat on, so there will not be a show. There will not be a show next Tuesday night. I'm gonna try to just do a quick show on Monday to do a follow up on Fort Myers, and that's because me and Michelle, my daughter Michelle, are going to Mile High Stadium. We're going to be flying to Denver to see ACDC next week and on Tuesday night. So I will not be live here on the video, but I just wanted to share that with you. I'm pretty excited to take my daughter to the show and have her see the show. I did go and see them last May in Tampa. Amazing show. I can't believe somebody, Angus can still, and really the band that's left there can really just, put on an amazing show. So was very impressed, and I decided we was going to try to take her with to see him when they came back to the States. And I picked Denver because I haven't been out there since I was like 20 years old. And that's been a little bit, anyway, but I'm looking forward to that show. Let's see. Let me go a couple. Say hi to Mike. Back seat to the Hard Rockers. Yeah. Well, yeah, we are been playing them all day, and then I did get some pretty good seats. And hey, Lisa, I'm glad to see you on here. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend in Fort Myers. And okay, yeah, that's my favorite. Believe it or not, Siesta Beach is the best beach. I tell people when they come to Florida. I'm sure you do also. When they come to Florida, Siesta Key Beach is the beach. I mean, I will say the nightlife part is probably a little bit better in Clearwater Beach, but the actual beach itself is better down there. And Jonathan, how are you doing? Hopefully hope you're doing good. I don't know when we'll see you. Hopefully soon. Hopefully maybe you guys were on the show last night. Missed that show. I don't know if you guys did the podcast thing last night. And thanks for coming out, Juan, for the Coral Springs show. And Felix here, Comics Corner. They're becoming a thing at our shows right now. So looking forward to seeing them again this weekend. So we're going to have a decent amount of comics this weekend, speaking of Comic Felix Comics Corner, he is one of I think 3 or 4 comic vendors that we'll have. Steve Fuino, our friend, he has a family thing, so he will not be there. But comic wise, we will have Glenn, and we're going to have Greg Fuller back, and we're going to have a couple the Felix guys, and then we'll have a couple other people. So I just want to go over a couple things. I'm going to start out, and again, per like usual, I'm going to talk a little bit about the show previous to this, and I'm just going to show a couple pictures here. And let me go ahead and do that. All right. Now, I want to give a shout out. I know I already did this, but I want to do this again because, Joey, here's the thing with our shows is, we have like almost, and I think, Trent and Lisa and Mike, everybody on here, I think will agree. We have kind of like almost like a toy show family now. And we get a lot of compliments from customers that they like the show. I mean, every show we get compliments from people that are walking out at a good show. I had somebody ask me about credit card charges, and then they said, "Oh, it still is great show. Don't mind paying." And then you have store owners, which normally people would be open, but Joey here on the left, he's got he happens to be closed on Sundays, and so he was able to come out and join us at the show. Let's see. And so that Joey on the left, who owns Way Back When, and then we got Roberto here, who's a semi-newer vendor. I mean, he's been with us about 1.5 years. He's done from Miami. He did come up to Tallahassee. So, it's just very cool that we are able to have this. Now I'm going to show some pictures from the show because I personally didn't take really any. I think I took a couple to show off, which maybe I'll share those in a minute. But I want to just go through these real quick. These are ones from his page. So these are some of the things that he found there. Gremlins, I didn't see those. Wow. That's a small version of the Terminator. Look at the Schwarzenegger. I sold him this clown thing that I've had. This is like from the early 70s. And this is a picture of our artist. He must have got the wrong angle there. And then we do have nostalgic collectibles coming again this weekend. Down Jesus. I mean, his setup is getting better and better. I'm surprised he has everything in his thing is black, so except for those. That's kind of a cool thing. You got the Batman clock, and this is the room that we had. For those of you who were there, it is it's really nice space. We got there on Saturday with a karate group. This is our Iron Man that's been updated by our friend Ray with a light, like how it is, and it's kind of a couple. We had 2 different record dealers there. This is Andrew, who only does the South Florida stuff, basically. And then we had JD at his booth down there. And this guy, I'm trying to remember his name right now, but he's a newer guy. He had a lot of stuff. And then this is the beginning of the photos. Still trying to get this dang Beatles lunchbox. I need to just. All right, and that's their photos. But I mean, it was a great time, guys. I think everybody that came out. We did get attendance was a little off because of the World Cup. I mean, it wasn't just someone. Oh, we just think it's a World Cup. We actually had people say we're going home. We got and vendors. So we were down from last year, but we still had a great over 1,000 people. So still had a great show, great one-day show, and so just sometimes other events and other things going on, affect that. That's just how it is. So so I think we had a great show there. Okay, let me just talk a little bit about one. Let's see, one more. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to add. Coral Springs. Just let's see any changes that we would make. We are going to be making some changes to the vendor wristband stuff. Um, um, that's probably not going to. Probably will try. I'm going to try to have that going by September, and that is we're gonna have like lanyards for even new people. They won't be super vendor. They're going to be like a generic badge that we're going to write your name on, and then for that show, so it'll have the show date on it, and we'll instead of having like sheets with your name on it, we're going to have an actual, lanyards for vendors. That way you're gonna get two per table, I think, or two per something like that, and then you'll have to come to the front to get to anything else other if you have helpers or whatever. We're just trying to narrow down, like, make it that smoother. Every show I try to make changes, or try to make things a little bit better. I'm just trying to also think what else we would change for Coral Springs. I don't think anything really. Um, yeah, I don't think anything. I think other than that, it was great. We're going to be back in Coral Springs on the January 4th. That is the first Sunday of the year. So right now, let me just show the schedule here. And thanks guys. Appreciate you liking the shows and coming out. And Jason, see you in Fort Myers. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so I just want to share with you the schedule here. So we've got Fort Myers this weekend, and then we have like a two-week break. Is that right, Lisa? 2 weeks? No, there's more than a week here.
We have 1 weekend between the 26th.
So, but it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks, one actual weekend off, and then we're back with Star Wars G.I. Joe, which I will have a guest there, maybe two. And I'm gonna Susanna Malik is I don't have her picture or the flyer here. I'm gonna post that probably tomorrow. Susanna Malik, who was in Mandalorian and Boba Fett and some other stuff. She'll be at the Star Wars show. I'm working on getting a G.I. Joe guy. I did have a third person, but we're kind of coming down to the wire here. And I will say I want to again thank Mary for the help. Mary from Koala for helping me on this Koala Bear production. I think that's what the promotions or something like that. Sorry about that, Mary, on the end, but I want to give her credit for getting these guests, because this guest thing is just it's just all it's like the extra thing that you can never get to, that you can never do right, and you're just like, it's just work, man. It's just work, because different people want different stuff, and if you can't send them like a generic contract, then they change that, and they don't want this and this and that. I mean, I have like a thing where I should get like at least one autograph from people in my contract, and Corin and Jack, I got nothing, not because I couldn't, but because I didn't. I just didn't. I don't have time. It's not my priority. My priority is running the show. So it's just all these little, and I'm sorry, this kind of like is coming up only because I wanted to announce somebody and I can't now, but it is what it is. I'm fine. I'm just a little, the guest thing is a lot of extra work that I'm just, not that thrilled about. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to have guests. It's just, I could go on a whole little tangent, but I'm not going to do that, because there's nothing. Everything's good. Everything's good. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit about the schedule. Here, Star Wars, G.I. Joe. I'm planning on having at least one guest, because I already have that airplane paid for and everything. So Susanna will be there. and then we're gonna work on getting maybe another 1 or 2 guests there, and then now Melbourne is sold out. So if you're not paid and already in, then you may be looking out. I mean, it's full. Okay, I've got like 4 people that want tables that hit me up yesterday. What happened was it was yesterday. I actually went through the applications, and I went through the applications and the map, and it's full now. So I do have a few people that I'm going to leave on the list as far as cancellations, but and try to put people in, because we usually have at least 1 or 2 cancellations on at the shows right before the event. So if you're not in, just hit me up right before the event and see if there's some space, and I'll try to plug you in there. But that this is a thing. Like, people are, I mean, I appreciate everybody that is vending with us. We are going to have 2 guests for that, one of which is going to be at Fort Myers. I'm going to talk about here in just a minute, but we are going to have a couple of guests at Melbourne. That'll be our first show at Melbourne. It's going to be south of, the Coco Show, which I haven't contacted that building yet. And then let's see. Jose says, hello, everybody. Okay, at the live. Yeah, we'll miss you this weekend, but you made space for somebody else, Jose, so that's okay. But we will miss you. Okay, and then Sean. Okay, Sean will be there helping us set up and take down. He's working on the Hummer right now, or he already worked on the Hummer, actually. It's a North Florida show on Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. It is going to be on Sunday. It's going to be on Sunday. The reason why, the reason why that is, and she's talking about the North Florida World Golf Village that I recently posted, which is less than 2 months away. I know it's July and not September, but it is. I have to think about it that way. That's going to be, let's see. I got a couple people ask questions. So the September 13th, that is a Sunday. Now, what happened there was I thought about doing Saturday, but I went ahead and pushed it to Sunday because there was another event that I was supposed to go to, which I still may go to. But so that's why I pushed it to Sunday. That and the Jacksonville show is normally, when we do one day, we usually do Sundays. Some people may ask, well, why do you do Sundays? Why do you, when you're doing one day shows? And it's because Saturday, you're competing with everything on a Saturday. Okay. So, yes, Sunday is a religious, Sabbath, basically, for the most part, not everybody, but some. So, I understand that, but on Saturday is when everybody has their soccer games and they're mowing lawn, or they're working on their house or whatever. So you're competing, or going to Disney or whatever. You're competing with all of that. To me, on a Saturday, you're also competing with weddings for venues. I know it seems like nobody gets married anymore, but that still, I assume happens. It's only I'm good on that. So anyway, so venues are a little harder to get on Saturday. They're going to be more expensive also, typically. Now, not all of them, but a bunch of them, like hotels and stuff like that. That's a typical thing. All right, Robbie. Oh, okay, Robbie and Palmetto. Yeah, we can maybe do that. I just got to make sure there's space there, Douglas, for them. And then, but yeah, we'd love to have you. And then, Chris, is there an ATM? There is an ATM in Fort Myers. It's in a little hallway, going to be around the corner. I'm going to talk a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get to the whole setup thing. I want to just review that. And then, hey, Steven, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a little bit, but I'm, other than, I guess you were at the First Coast Comic Con. So, which I don't know. Like I heard there were people there and everything. I think that's what you said. And then Abe was there. He said he did pretty good. Okay. So again, I'll come back to this schedule, but let me go ahead and move on to Fort Myers. Okay, so first thing is that we got Jack O'Halloran. That he's coming up. He's coming down. He was also at our Tampa Toy Con. Really nice guy. He will be at the show this Sunday down in Fort Myers. He's going to drive down there. And we got him a room and everything for next door. And hey, Mark, I did see your announcement of your spot. And let's see if we can tell people about that. Maybe share that again with me. Your opening, Mark Draven, old vendor. And really he was probably doing the show where I just kind of discovered shows originally. He does tattoos, mostly known for tattoos, I think, at MegaCon and other things, but in WrestleMania, he runs the tattoo stuff at WrestleMania. So he's opening a thing. I think it's up in Leesburg. Just message me the name, and if you want to post the name there, Mark, you can do that, and then people will know where it is. Awesome. All right, great, Stephen. We're looking forward to having you back there at the show. Yeah, so Chris, again, there is a ATM but bring money. So because I don't know, they do run out. Well, you have this guy that comes to our South Florida shows, and sometimes he brings them to Orlando that has these ATMs, and I keep thinking about getting an ATM, but of my own. So we have it at the show, but I can't carry that kind of change around. And I know everybody thinks that, I'm because I have all these toys behind me, I'm just like, balling out over here. But the reality is that I invest. When I make money, I reinvest that in the future shows. So, all of these places that you see on this list, they all want deposits. Some of them want second deposits. So it's like, I'm not necessarily hitting everybody for their table money immediately. I mean, I try to make sure that we're at least a month out of, on applications, and I try to run applications at least 2 or 3 days a week, in the mornings usually. And so sometimes I get behind, but if you're a regular, I'm trying to make it so it's, not too crazy on you as far as getting hit with the table fees and stuff like that. But at the same time, all of these buildings want money. And so, like, while it may appear that, that I'm, making money, which I'm not, I am making money. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I'm not going to, BS you. But the reality is that a lot of times, most of, what we make goes back into the show. So it's not, it's just that the way. And Mark said, okay, EPP Entertainment and Pop Culture Center. Okay. At the Lake Square Mall. I got to come up and see that. I think that's in Leesburg. I think that's where it's at. Need to come up and see. Cause I've been wanting to have a mall thing down here, but he said there's some space up there. Maybe you can do a show. So maybe he's going to do a show. I don't know. But Mark, again, has kind of been around my show since the beginning, since the first show. I remember him being at the show, and I remember actually telling him or asking him, how do I have 1,000 people at a show? This was like my second show, I think, in 2019. And I was dreaming about 1,000 people. Having 1,000 people at a show, and obviously we've done that, and we've also kind of had 2,000 people. So I'm it's just, it doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen. You don't build a following and overnight, and that is, it's just a consistency, and that I tell people. I think people that are new. I said this to somebody that sometimes when you start out, you think you can buy your way into a reputation, and I just don't think that that's possible. In my book, anyway. That's not been my experience. Okay, I don't want the host shows. Off and venue. Okay, cool. All right, I'll hit you up and come up there and check that out as soon as I get 10 minutes here to leave the damn desk here. Let's see. Awesome show one. Coral Springs, I did very well. Awesome, great. I mean, so that means you'll be signing up to the next one. Cool. Godzilla's and Hot Wheels. Yeah, South Florida is very well known for Hot Wheels. All right, so again, we're gonna have Jack at the show this Sunday. We don't know, if we'll have him again or if he'll go to a different event because this is not too far from where I believe he lives in the St. Pete area. And then I haven't announced this, but we will have Corin Nemec also down at the show this Sunday. Okay. He reached out and I was able to do some things and get them set up because we have a couple tables there in the front that we can have guests. So he will be back at the show this Sunday, one day only. I know you're probably sick of seeing my little thing up there at the top, but it is one day only. And now Corin is also planning on being at our Melbourne show along with the Cougans. And some of you guys might say, well, you need to expand your guests, but I will. But again, I'm like I said before, I don't have a lot of time to explore this. I do have people that reach out to me about guests, but and I've met some people and this and that, but I'm hoping to do that more next year. I'm hoping to get out more. We're not going to be doing the schedule that we're doing this year. We're not going to do next year. We're going to, a couple places where might drop. And then another thing is I'm just not going to do this. Like if you look at our schedule for October, this is stupid. Like, I mean, this should have been November. This is just crazy. Okay. This schedule, let me go back and show this is crazy. Now, hopefully some of you guys, the vendors can keep up here, but, are cool with this. Cause I kind of was going through this and I'm going, this is crazy. Okay. Because if you look at this show, September 13th is basically a month after the month before this show. Well, a month and 5 days. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows in like a month and 5 days. What was I thinking?
I don't know, Jeff. What were you thinking?
I'm thinking.
Trying to kill me over here.
I'm throwing Mikado under the bus here. Slap Happy Toys. Oh man. Anyway, we'll manage. Okay. Now, what I want to say is that I am working on at least one November show. It's probably going to be the 15th of November. It's going to probably be at the RP Funding Center here in Lakeland, where I live. And I'm hoping that we can make it like an end of the year, little, I don't know, barbecue or something.
Rap party.
Yeah, a rap party. I'm throwing you under the bus. Sorry, Jeff, but you were like, we need to do more shows, and so here we are. I've done much more shows, and anyway, but it's been good. It's been good. All right. Anyway, okay. So thanks, James, for coming out. By the way, yeah, I thought you were coming this last show. Oh well. Okay, cool, awesome. Glad you had a great. Yeah, I think I remember seeing your stuff. You're a new vendor, and thank you for coming out. Awesome. All right. Yeah. So this is quite a schedule for October. But we will manage. We will figure it out. I just, this man, this is, and Mark probably looks at Draven. I mean, probably looks at this and just said, I don't, he said one time, you do 4 shows a year. That's it. Okay. And then I think as we went, we're like, how are you doing this? And I honestly, I think about it. I don't know how I'm doing this. He's saying James spent all his money with Mark, I think. All right. 4 kids, Disney World, tap out. Okay, awesome. All right, again, we're going to have Corin and Jack out this weekend. Let me go ahead and talk a little bit about our the setup here for Fort Myers. And I'm going to show a little bit of that. So let me show this. First of all, this is the location to give you guys an idea. I'm up here in Lakeland right now. This is about 2 hours south of me. If we zoom in, it's downtown Fort Myers. Okay, you got Coral Springs over here, and then this is Fort Myers downtown. Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop our little guy down here, see if we can. Okay, let's see. This is the parking. Okay, well, this is, you guys, if you've been there, that you guys know that this is, let me make sure that you're seeing this because you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it, but you are now. Okay. Okay, so that is basically where you park and pull in. Down here is, so you got a ramp here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take me off here just so I can, so you guys can see a little bit better. And so if you need a ramp, you can load in here, but our show is not right in here this time. Okay. Because it's just the way our show is on around the corner. Oh, I went too far. Dang it. Where did I go?
You're at the corner.
Okay. So this is the hotel. So I went around the corner is what I did. Okay. So you see, normally that's the ramp and that portico. You can load stuff in there, but our show is where it was in January, which is inside here. Let me go ahead and share our little setup thing here. Give me a second. And you'll see this is the setup page that I sent everybody. This is a video that I did in January. It's going to tell you 1 o'clock as a setup, but we only have access to the space for 4 hours on Saturday. So starting at noon. So this is so if you play the video, we're in the same exact room as we were on Saturday or in January. Sorry, this tells you all the information as a link, all the information. Okay, the map down here shows where the show is. You got the loading dock, and then again you can unload here, but you can't park here because they will want to tow you. There is a loading dock behind the show. There is some, I think there's a doorway where you can get in here that we'll have open for a little bit. And then on Sunday at the post office, you can park there, trailers and stuff. And then there is a parking garage though for everybody else. Okay. So this is the setup info. Hopefully you got the link. If you did not get the link, please send me a message and I will, and we can go from there. Let's see what else. Okay. I want to go ahead and talk a little bit. The website is up to date. If you want to know, I need to add Corin here, but if you want to sign up for any shows, okay, which I need to update Melbourne here, and I need to make an update here now that I'm looking at this, but all the shows, I add all the shows here as I open up applications. Everything is listed on here. I also update this. So whenever I have a new show, I always update the website. Okay, every week or every other week or whenever we have a new event that I'm adding, I go ahead and update the website. So again, this is your setup and then the website, and then you can contact me if you need anything there. Okay, hopefully that's pretty clear. Okay, let me see. I'm going to show you guys some pictures now of a couple things that I'm, some of this is drive down Saturday. No way. You're going to drive down Saturday? There's no way. But remember, noon. if you want to set up, Jeff, noon to 4. Okay. And yeah, JB1, well, looking forward to having you again. And I haven't seen you in a little while. Hopefully you're doing good. And let's see. Yeah, August, talk to me about that this weekend. I'm going to try to maybe get Tampa up online before the end of the week, but we'll see. And yeah, Green Acres, yeah, I probably have a few spaces left, but most of that sells out when I leave. So that is a smaller show, but it's a really good show. Again, we'll be back there in October. Okay, let me go ahead and change the some sharing, and then I'm going to go ahead and just share a couple other things with you guys. One is this. Okay, now this is a personal thing, and then I'm going to show you guys Fort Myers, just the building, just to share that, and a couple photos. So this is my Mustang that I've been working on with paint. This is actually when I got the Hummer down. I got it down in Fort Myers. I think, are you guys seeing that? Yeah. Okay. But what I want to show you is this, someone took on the, fixing the paint. Like I wanted this wing added, and there was some clear coat here missing, and there was some clear coat on the trunk missing. What I ended up getting was this person decided that they were going to paint my car like twice. And so it was good from about, 20 feet, whatever. And I'm going to show you, I'm showing you this because this is kind of like my current project. And then I'll move on. But it just so happens that this picture is in Fort Myers when I got so you see all of this. This is like right after he painted it too. So all of this is all like clear coat, dry clear coat stuff. And I mean, the letters are all wacky, I'm showing you this just because I'm going to show you the door is hanging. All of this is, I mean, it just very disappointing. Okay, very disappointing. And the car, I've got a lot of money into the interior and stuff like that. Sean's done some work, and the paint guy I have now done some work. So again, if you look here, I'm just showing you because I want to show you guys a couple pictures of it currently, which maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't seen. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you. Oh, maybe not. Where is my, sorry. So this is today. So this is today at the paint shop. Look how nice the letters are. This is the new bumper we got because the other one had a bend, a warp in it. The guy basically stole my trunk, so I had to buy a new trunk. So they're fitting this new trunk. They might have to cut part of this because this is a reproduction trunk. But all of this is really nice. Now I'm just sharing this just because. This is the bottom ground effects here. This is all dusty, but they are very clean. I mean, the car looks super red in person. This is the inside of the door, just to give you an idea of how red it's going to be. This is the old color, the orangey red. And then, it's just, anyway, it's in progress. Okay, let me show you guys Fort Myers. And of course, it's not going to show me Fort Myers. It's going to show me. I think Apple just needs to really work on their search for photos. It's not good. So these are some pictures from this building, just to give you guys an idea. Let's see if we're still looking at this. Okay. So we will be in this building. I know this was a couple years ago, this particular photo, but this is the setup that we will be using for this weekend. Here's what the space looks like, empty. It is 10,000 square feet, guys, just so you know. All right, there's Jeff. This is really old. Okay, let's look at the January show. Okay, this was in January. And again, very nice building, very nice setup. 10,000. This is Keith. He was there with Brutus. And then you got Steve Fuino, who we won't have. And then here's my friend Lee and the Cougans and Lisa there. And then someone paying me for tables, and then my Mustang. So let's see. And I think I went through all these. So, all right. Okay, guys. So again, we'll be back there in Fort Myers. And let's see, Penny, there will be there 8 Sunday. Okay, yeah. You can get there before 8. That's great, because people start building stuff next to you and they start asking questions. Okay, starting at about 8 o'clock, vendors start asking, "Can I take your table?" Okay, I'm just take the guy's table next to me, just so you know. Okay, and we had some people that were late at Coral Springs. No, I mean, we made it work, but people have come and gotten upset because their space was kind of encroached because they showed up late. So when I say late, I mean just after 8 o'clock to set up, but you have a smaller setup, August, so it's not really a bigger deal. I'm just saying that has happened in the past. Okay, so we're going to be in Bradenton at the same hotel that we were in, I think, earlier in the year. I don't know if there's going to be a festival. I just want to go through a little bit more of the schedule. All of these I'm going to be working on. So if you applied, and I just want to say, even if you, I mean, I want to say this, but I don't want to say this. Okay, so I want, if for some reason that you don't want me to charge your card on Eventini, you need to let me know in advance or in your application. If you want to do the show, please get your application in. Okay, that way I because I'm running so many events now that I, in order to make sure that I get you on the map, I need to have your name, somewhere, because I'm really busy. I don't mean that to be like, oh, hey, I'm just busy. What happens is I want to give you guys a process. So what I do is when I'm filling the map up, so if I'm at a show and what I try to do, and if you pay me for a table or whatever at the show, I will try to send, my plan is to send a text, that way I can go back and I can look and say, okay, you paid me for this, and then I can put you down. And then also, what I do now is I go and look at the list of people that are already signed up and paid, and I make sure that they are on the map. That is my, that's my list. I need to keep more lists like I was, but things started just getting too busy and I wasn't able to keep up with them. I need to go back to, I had a spreadsheet and everything where I would add people. So I probably need to do that. But it's just some of these we're doing a bunch. And so I just want to, for a safety perspective, if you want to do the show, sign up for it. If for some reason you don't want me to charge your card, please note that, and we'll figure out a different way to get invoice you or something. Okay. But the people that are signed up on there and have their card in there and they're ready to pay, unless you're we have a different arrangement, those are the people I'm prioritizing, because I have them there, they're ready to go, and I can and then that allows me to pay for the space. So again, because all these buildings want money. So anyway, again, I will not be on here. I'm going to plan on doing a video, I believe on Monday night is going to be my plan, because I will be gone all next week to the AC/DC concert, and then I will be going to okay, someone just messaged me. Okay. I'm gonna be gone next week, most of the week, to Colorado, and then I will be back to work on finalizing Star Wars show, which I'm looking really forward to. We've been in the VFW for the last 5 years, and then before that we were at the Acme comic shop, and so now it's time to move up and go to a hotel where we can have room sales. We can grow the show. We're going to have more space, more tables, more vendors at Altamont Hilton. Okay. All right, guys. And I do have a few spaces there. If you have G.I. Joe and Star Wars stuff, that is the theme of the show. It's not a general toy show. But if you have that, you're more than welcome to sign up. Okay. All right. So anyway, we will see you this weekend in Fort Myers, and then we will see you again next Monday. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great week. I really hope to see you in Fort Myers. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye now. I appreciate you. Bye now.